good to be out and about. Lives get stuffy sometimes. Talking about me is my favorite subject. I kid. Guess we're done.
Captain, it is pleasant to see you.
Liftoff initiated, Captain. Time to venture into that beautiful sky. Recalculate. Target sitting there with no grav drive now.
Good old Aquila City. One thing I'll say is it's better than the UC.
Could I get a digital copy of the things I buy here?
No.
What? Why not?
I sell books. Physical books.
Space is a premium on my ship. If I could download it to my slate, I could have a whole library.
There are places you can go for that, ma'am. Just not my shop. Good day.
Wait.
Excuse me.
Kind of busy right now.
This place sure beats living under the boot.
It's the simple things that bring joy.
There's too many people suffering, and not enough hands reaching out to help. I got a moment to hear about the Low House. It means a lot to me, and to others. Good to know there's still some folks who can take an interest in the welfare of others. The Low House is a place where folks down on their luck can get a hot meal and a bed to sleep in. More importantly, they can do it with some dignity. No need to beg or steal. Everything's given with no questions asked and no favors owed. I run the place. Have for years. But to do it, I have to rely on the kindness of others. What do you think I'm doing this for my benefit? I'm doing it because once, a long time ago, I was a guest at the Low House. I was the one who needed saving. That's right. And most people want to. Sometimes they just need a helping hand to pull them up from a dark place and set them on their feet again. Look, I'll be honest with you. We get a little help from some other wealthier folks in the city, but it's barely enough. It takes credits to provide for those in need, and I'm hoping you'll be willing to contribute. If you can spare a few credits, it'll do a lot of good. Thank you. I don't know if you believe in karma, but I do. I think you just earned yourself some. Takes everything I've got to keep the Low House open. But it still doesn't feel like enough. If you're serious, I'm drowning in work. Philborn Agricultural Systems feeds basically everyone in the stretch. Bless the Philborn brothers. But their latest IntelliWheat shipment is late. I'm not worried yet, but getting there. Could you ask Sarah Philborn what the holdup is? Very politely? We buy it at a deep, deep discount. below their costs. I know not everyone approves of Henry getting more into brewing, but I don't care. The whole family has earned my eternal thanks. This is a huge help. If there's anything you can do to speed up the wheat delivery, please do it. I'll have more work for you when you get back.
Outside the wall, things get dicey. Hostile are no joke. Even for us. Most folk prefer the jetpack.
A good business person shouldn't let their personal attachments become an obstacle to success. If you're here for Weston, he's underfoot somewhere. Either here or at the factory. But please, if it's about that brewing nonsense, kindly leave. They don't need any more encouragement. Dear me, no, Weston's a fine man. If anything, that's why I want more from him. He could do even greater things, if only he could see that. I'm not some stuck-up teetotaler. My problem with the business is more nuanced. Weston, that's my husband. Well, he's never been what I'd call a dreamer or a visionary. He's a practical man, good with ledgers and numbers. His brother Henry's the creative one, but he seems to have lost interest in growing the company, and now all he wants to do is brew beer. Filburn Agricultural Systems could provide the whole of the settled systems with food, not just Aquila City. Seems those two are content to think small. Well, I wish you were the one I had to convince. Well, you didn't come here to hear me natter on. Anything else? And try to come between Weston and his brother? They'd never allow it. Oh, I've tried to drop hints and make suggestions, but it all falls on deaf ears. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, of course. The company's healthy, and Weston and I live well enough. I'd like to help, you know? I'd like to be a part of things instead of feeling like I'm playing second fiddle. I suppose I should just accept my lot and try to find peace with it. Well, no, not as such. I mean, the business is doing just fine, but it could be doing even better. Those knuckleheads have so much God-given talent, and I just wish they used it better. Well, there is. The stakes are huge. With further R&D on IntelliWheat, the entire settled systems could benefit. Surely that's worth some less than savory solutions. Right now, it's tailored to Aquila's biomes, allowing wheat to flourish in places it normally couldn't. But if Henry applied himself, who knows where else we could grow IntelliWheat? He may be frustrating, but Henry's the smartest person I've ever met. Just don't tell him that. I can't pretend it wouldn't benefit my family if we develop IntelliWheat. But you're wrong. This is about what's important for everyone. Henry's pet project is tied to market perception. His beer, annoyingly, is really good. But if we could make a bad batch, terrible, really, his margins are tight enough he might be forced to throw in the towel. Henry bores everyone to tears about how crafting beer is so much more art than science. It's delicate. Surely it wouldn't be too hard to mess it up, right? What? Oh god, no. I just want it to taste bad. Like stale, or like it's whatever makes beer taste worse. The next big batch of beer is almost done brewing in our factory. You just need to find a way to break in without getting caught by the guard and tamper with it somehow. Then just wait a day or so and see how the batch goes over at the Stone Root Inn. Do that, and I'll pay you handsomely. That's the last I'll talk of this.
Ouch. That didn't go well.
this than being some dust wrangler on Montara Luna.
Solar 37.
Okay, hold up.
I feel for the folk in the stretch. I try and give a
So,
credit or
Henry's
two
new
to
badge?
Low House when I'm
How'd
able.
it go over?
The mayor's alright.
I know you like
Always
it,
painting too rosy a picture, though.
but
What? There's something wrong?
Sam said it tasted off. Really off.
A lot of famous
Gladys
people
said it was
with
fine.
tequila.
Then she
Popping
dumped
back
the
a
whole
beer,
glass on
you
the floor when she
never
thought
know.
I wasn't looking.
No.
You should try Gilbert's beer.
Stuff.
It's brewed in the city,
All
and it ain't
regulars
bad.
have stopped ordering his old stuff too.
I'll break the news to Henry.
Hi there. Welcome to the Stone Root Inn. Eloise keeps this place running, and I guess I keep her running. Or at least I
A
keep her
year or
sane.
two back, I shared a drink with Ron Ho.
If you're looking to stay,
That man
Eloise
can
handle
drink.
that. My job's
Hello.
well,
Good to see you.
everything else.
If there's anything you need, just let me know. There certainly is. My family's owned and operated this place going back generations. Why, the Stone Root's been around so long, it's even older than Midtown, and that's saying something. Aquila City folk value legacy and tradition deeply, and by running this, I get to be part of that. Enjoy the inn.
I hope Aquila is treating you nicely.
Is this some sort of stuff gone wrong? Or...
It's true. My husband runs one of the most successful businesses in the Freestar Collective. But I still think we can do better. Something happened to Henry's beer? That's terrible. So terrible. But I'm sure I know nothing about it. Here's some credits for delivering the news. I expect that's the last I'll be seeing of you. After the Stone Road Inn disaster, I think... I know, we're late. It's been this whole frustrating episode. Short version, the farming equipment outside the walls needs to be manually rebooted. But the guards aren't going to be able to send people to fix it for days. We're committed to helping the unfortunates on the stretch, but the Ashta are just too dangerous for us to send someone. You must be new to Aquila City. Outside the city walls are dangerous predators. They've been the bane of colonists from day one. Only well-armed and well-trained people walk outside. Otherwise, they become just the latest statistic. The full story would take ages. Henry is supposed to be on top of production issues. But his precious latest batch of beer is at a critical point. Whatever the hell that means. And Aldwin Wright's robots should have been overhauled a month ago, but he's just one man, and all of Aquila needs him pretty much all the time. So, whether we're supposed to or not, Weston and I are handling it. You're going to do it? If you get it rebooted, I'll get the harvest going ASAP. We can get the wheat to Amira quick. I'll talk with my husband, but I'm sure we could arrange payment. You'd be helping our business too, after all. Just be careful. Ashta are very dangerous.
I've got some stuff on my mind when you have the time. I'd appreciate your advice. After our last talk, I was really worried what you'd say, but I always feel better. Thank you. Cora's grandpa, good old Jacob, well, he just will not stop pestering me to see Cora, and that's complicated. He is not my favorite topic of conversation. My early years, they weren't good. My mother died when I was 7. Some people have such strong memories from their early life. Me, I mean, I remember her. I have some pictures. I remember the feelings, but just a few clear memories. She banged up her knee real good in an accident. So she went in for knee replacement. Supposed to be routine, but that damn anesthesiologist dropped the ball. And one day mom's fine, and the next, doctors take her away. You better believe it. So, Jacob raised me on his own, and shit, maybe I don't give him enough credit. I mean, I know how tough it is, but he was strict, hard. Dad was a longtime civil servant, a big man in government, and he had a future all laid out for me. Man, could he get his hooks into you. He was scary good at that. At his height, he was some sort of trade minister, a very prominent man in Aquila City. After I came along, he stepped down to a lower posting. He still had a finger in trade all over the collective. I can't deny it. He sacrificed a lot to be closer to Mom and me. Maybe. But it was tough to live up to his exacting expectations. But I tried. I felt the weight of legacy. I wanted to do him proud. He said I had to learn the business, run some freight, see how credits flow, speak the language. Meanwhile, he's working some angle for a government job for me after. That sounded even more miserable than what I was doing. Oh, I started to. Many, many times. He'd always steer the conversation away or just use logic to dissect every little point. Once I held my ground, and he said I was an ungrateful child, not worthy of what he was doing. I know, right? Even after I was with the Rangers, Dad was just always needling, angling for me to join the government. But by then I knew myself more, and I could stand up to him. And Lillian, well, she helped. If I let Jacob into Cora's life, he'll dream up some big future for her and tie her into knots like he did with me. A man could teach a master class in manipulation. I mean, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure that freight company was silently partnered with good old Dad. And the smuggling? I wouldn't put it past him to be involved. Very involved. He always did a good job of keeping that side of the business hidden from everyone. Especially me. Yeah, but she's only 12 and... Well, I see what you did there. If I just flat out say no, I'm a hypocrite, right? I guess I got more to think about. Any day you make it through is a victory in my book. Yeah, I've picked some things up. Here you go. Now that's it then.
I really don't understand why Weston can't rein in his brother a little. How much are we going to lose on this brewing nonsense?
About the Ashta? We got a big old sign. Danger. If they open up the gate and go out there, it's on their own head. But if they're far afield, they got no idea what they're in for. You want to warn them? You know I don't like talking to strangers. Then you joke and tell them about
You're, okay, right?
outside is really, really dangerous. You see a danger sign in a kitty city, better know we mean it.
Just keep your gun holstered during your stay. It'll be good in my book.
That is good news. What was the holdup anyway? It's good to know the Filburns are still faithful to the cause. I hate to ask it, but I do need more help. Everything runs on charity. And our benefactors, though kind, I think sometimes, well, get sick of seeing me. A new face may ease up the purse strings, or at least save me some errands. It's touch and go sometimes. Pester too much, and they could turn their back on the project. Too little, and people suffer. So, the mayor, Elias Cartwright, has always been generous to us, but it's been a while since he's donated. Raisha Lands is a huge benefactor. Laredo Firearms has been vital for us. Both of those are routine, more polite reminders, really. The last is a long shot, probably futile. But the Trade Authority is incredibly wealthy, and they have never ever donated to us. If you could convince Duncan Lynch to give us anything, heck, a single credit even, I'd consider it a victory. Only if you can do so without ruffling feathers. We need Cartwright and Lance. But if you can, that would be enormously helpful. Once you're done with that, come back to me. You take care.
Another day, another shift.
The finest folk in the settled systems make their home right here. Good to meet you, friend. Name's Elias Cartwright. I'm the mayor of Aquila City. Now, I've got a memory for faces, and I can't say I've seen yours around here before. I make it a point to introduce myself to everyone who passes through our fine city. As the founder himself once said, there's no substitute for a warm welcome and a friendly smile. You're more than welcome. As I'm sure you know, us folk in the Freestar Collective put great stock in human kindness and generosity of spirit. I like to think that's what sets us apart from our neighbors in the United Colonies. We don't rely on machines or bureaucracy. We rely on each other. I won't pry about what brought you here. That's all of your business and none of mine. However, I'd be more than happy to give you the scoop about the core and Midtown. Midtown's where most of the business and trading gets done. It's not as old as the core, because it was built later as the city grew. As the name might suggest, Wallside's the district that runs along the inside of the Great Wall that surrounds the city. It's mostly farmers and other laborers that live down there. They ain't got quite as much space, but it's cheaper, so it all works out. The core is the oldest district and represents the original settlement dating back to the days of Solomon Co. The descendants of the original settlers still make their home there today. What day is it? Oh, shoot! I forgot. I'll send over my usual monthly donation to Amira. She truly is a wonder. And with the building project her and Mr. Tate are planning, there may be a day when the stretch is a distant memory. I'll talk with Amira later. I didn't mean to cause any problems. Between thwarting bank robberies and helping the stretch, you have the city's thanks. Truly. Frank's just the latest owner of the old Hassanov Manor, and he's the worst. Simply the worst. But it's been a problem since the Hassanov family ran out of heirs. There's an old wrong the Cartwrights have been trying to right for decades. And hence, well, I need help. He's just another slick, rude, neon corporate hack, full of himself, and just awful. I mean, the core is history itself. Cads like him don't belong here. I was right to talk to you about this. The last Hassanov was Sahar. Sad tale there. By all accounts, when she lost her last grandchild around 40 years ago, well, it broke her. She packed up and just plain left the estate. Built some farm far from Aquila City and the protection of its walls. It didn't take long before the Ashta overran the farm, and just like that, no more Hassanovs. The Hassanovs were one of the early families that took to making a living in space. Very industrious, mainly miners. They settled planetside in the earliest days of Aquila City. They helped good old Solomon Co. a time or two, but they didn't fare well living in full gravity after a couple of generations in zero-G. Lots of health issues. Eventually, a string of just terrible luck left only lonely old Sahar Hassanov. Poor lady. And those that were healthy kept leaving Aquila. The call of the stars. A lot of folks thought the same. So I need someone to go to the old Sahar farm, brave the Ashta, and see if she left a will. I swear I'll honor her wishes. Aquila owes her family that much. And if it happens to kick Mr. Big Shot out of the core, well, that'll be a bonus. Sahar left no heirs, no instructions, so everything the Hassanovs owned was in limbo. What happened to the estate? Well, you'd have to be a lawyer to make heads or tails of it. But eventually it wound up on the open market, so slick neon corporate shills could grace our community. If she named any heir, we could get the estate back where it belongs. See things made right. You are a blessing. Sahar's farm is elsewhere on the planet. If you can't handle Ashta, please just don't go. I don't want this whole sordid story to have more tragedy. Be careful, and look out for yourself.
off living here.
SSMN says that space search is
Welcome to Aquila City's Trade Authority. Do you have business with the Trade Authority? I do have need of a courier. A simple job. The timetable isn't even an issue. But it requires discretion and no questions. That's a question, but it's a simple piece of paper. What's on the paper is for the recipient's eyes alone. We clear? Take this message to the Den. There's a trade authority rep there, Marcel. Just give the paper to him. If you could take a roundabout path to get there, that would be best. And that's the last we will speak of this. The Trade Authority has a firm policy of not getting involved in internal matters. We're neutral in all affairs of the governments of the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies. The Trade Authority's image is doing quite well already. Thank you very much. I'm done discussing this matter. I'm the local representative for the organization. In that capacity, I work with merchants, and business people, and local leaders to make sure trade flows regularly and efficiently to and from the city. With the long lag times of interstellar communication, we wanted to have someone here in person to talk face to face and make quick decisions. After all, the Trade Authority's work is vital to the continued growth and prosperity of Aquila City. You have a great day. The Trade Authority looks to partner with local... Huh. Down to business, then.
I'm up for a little adventure. I wouldn't say no to an upgrade. Bye.
Steer clear of the stretch. Lots of crime over there.
So we had to clean up the graffiti on the range.
There's not enough to do around.
Why don't we just close it down? It's not like it gets much
I think
use.
you'll find that we carry fine weapons of all kinds here.
Indeed. As a matter of fact, they're made in this very building. You're standing in the storefront of the Laredo Firearms Factory. I designed and manufactured every firearm for sale here. As such, I can offer you my personal assurance they're of the highest quality. Oh, so Amira has some help? Good. She's going to work herself into an early grave if she's not careful. Laredo Firearms prides itself in helping out all the residents of Aquila City. I'll send Justin over to deliver our monthly donation. Well, if the Rangers think the Low House needs more help, I'll tell Amira that Laredo is ready to help the community more. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I need someplace to put the prototypes through their paces.
You meet all
It's
sorts in the...
Thank you for saving my husband.
Hey there.
The Cartwrights have been donating to the Low House for generations. And Raisha increased her donations substantially. Very substantially. I don't know what to say. No word from the Trade Authority. I'm sorry I even asked. I like to believe everyone is capable of empathy and compassion, but people like Duncan test my faith. I didn't say that, but I'm not going to correct you. Aunt Zara Philborn came by and told me what you did to help her. You fought Ashta, and you didn't even bother to mention it to me. You are... I just don't know what. Sarah Philborn gave me these credits to give to you for your help with the farm. You more than deserve it. Those credits are from the grateful Philborns, not me. And I wouldn't take a single one. You've earned it. I have one more thing for you to do, but I hope it's more of a reward. This is part of the Intelliwit harvest. I'd like you to deliver it to Simone Jansen and her family. I want you to see the fruits of your labors.
Worst thing is, I could really see loving it here.
Amira said to expect you. This wheat ensures my family won't go to bed hungry. I genuinely don't know what my family would do without Amira. And you have no idea how much it means. She does. Whether rain or shine, she's there for us. Always smiling. Always comforting. I didn't believe in saints before I got to Aquila City. But I do now. Over here in Aquila, it's humbling to see regular people just
looking after us. On behalf of my family, of my daughter, bless you. I was so scared.
I hope Cora doesn't get too much underfoot. So long. The galaxy's too big to be stuck in the same place. Happy to even out the load. Take it easy.
I hope that never...
Let me show it. How it's done.
What a ride! Switching grab drive to normal propulsion.
Hey, over here. Could you please spare a ship part? Our rookie here may have sideswiped an asteroid. I had a good feeling about you. We just need a little. 2 units of ship parts will do. You're a lifesaver. Here, take these for your help. I had a good feeling about you. We just need a little. 2 units of ship parts will do.
jump spinning down.
I miss my dear darlings
Just
in
look
New
at those
Atlantis.
stars.
As I wander the blackness of the deep abyss. My ship is in tatters, all dented and worn. But I trust my old engine to get back by morn. Way oh, out in the blackness. Way oh, out in the void. Way oh, get me back to my true love, as quick as an old asteroid.
Ha! Ooh! We're here, hot off the stellar slide. Yes, we're here. Look at those beautiful stars. Landing gear is ready. Sight is clear.
First step on a new world full of life and the unknown. You got a beat on anything?
Made too many promises to shine light on the details, but I cashed out from the fleet. Bought an old hauler and converted it into a flying traveler's inn. Even named it the Jolly Roger as a bit of history's chuckle. We sputtered around the settled systems as best we could, helping the helpless. A safe harbor for anyone who needed it. Eventually, retired from that as well. Had too much of the past, still needed burying. Didn't stop Sarah Morgan from finding me, though. In her hunt for one of the historical relics I stole from the UC. Been a part of Constellation ever since. A third life in the making, and one with a mission worth the toil.
Are you training for some sort of weightlifting competition?
Ship's good. Buckle up and let's go. Maneuvering into position. We are now in stable orbit. Our tiny tin can of fragile humans has survived being hurtled through space once more. Jump, and their grav drive is fried. Daring voyage on the oceans of space. Brings us here.
Civilian transport to Anu. Welcome to UC
I
Space.
love the feeling
Maintain your
after a
current
perfect
course
jump.
while we scan your ship's cargo. And complete. Enjoy your stay in New Atlantis.
We here for the lodge? Smell that? I would bottle that up if I could. Musty old books, a bit of motor oil. You need something? You want me to carry something for you? Oh, well, if you have to. Come back soon, though. You know, the way you handle things, next time.
What's up?
It's been quieter around here ever since Vladimir went to live on the eye full time.
Let me guess. You missed me and you couldn't stay away. Oh, you're going to make me blush again, aren't you? Ah, my heart melts when you say those things to me. Bye, love.
people joke. Say those Varun zealots worship a snake. They call the great serpent is a real hellfire, but they Broken IP service connected.
Yes, you need me? Your investigation with the Freestar Rangers has come to an end. Are you satisfied with the results? Yes, but not everyone walked away, did they? This Ron Hope, supposedly a man of the people, was more concerned with profit than lives. He was not the first, and certainly will not be the last. Surprised? No. Just disappointed. Another who chose greed over all else. At least he will no longer be able to prey on others. I am unsure that death was preferable to justice. But at least the situation is over, and there is no question who was to blame. Fair enough. I will certainly not miss him. And now you can consider yourself a ranger in full. No, I would rather not. And I sincerely hope that has not been your main motivation in all this. Shall we find some other adventure to occupy us now? If you are free soon, could we talk? We have not yet had a moment to talk about what happened to you at that place. Temple? I am not sure what to call it. In all my time amongst the stars, I have never heard of such a thing. What do you think that place was? Nor I suspect anyone else who has ever lived. Is that presuming too much? Certainly it is too soon to speculate about who built it, but how can we not? After what you experienced, do you have any insights? It is hard to argue, but the implications... I am sorry. After what you have been through, I should be asking about you. Are you all right? Have you felt any side effects? How can any of us know what will happen? This is the definition of unprecedented, is it not? Yes, I meant apart from that. I am still trying to comprehend that on its own. The artifacts, that temple, this new ability you have acquired. Clearly, they are all connected. This is all so much bigger than we realized. You are right. Now we have even greater reason to press forward, to learn more about what is at work here. What did you need? Indeed I do. All yours. Of course. Are you ready? Did you need something? I have never been one to shy away from shouldering my share of a heavy load. Back to it then.
What's on your mind? Orbit locked. Whoa, you just look at that view.
Let us stick to business here, and hopefully business has nothing to do with Aurora.
Fill out an application today to become part of the most advanced technology corporation in the settled systems. Ryujin Industries is looking. For the young, bright minds of the future. Apply today at the nearest.
Hey there, friend. Need something? Thirsty.
Hello there.
Lamps? Oh yeah. Boost packs. Got those too. Don't even bother with the brand.
Lots of suspicious people visiting the tower these days.
No funny business, you hear me?
To become part of the most advanced technology corporation in the settled systems.
Welcome to Ryujin Industries. Can I help you? You must be one of the candidates that Imogene Salzo is interviewing today. Her office is down the hallway to my left. Take another left at the conference room, follow it around to the right and up a small flight of stairs. Then take a left and keep heading that way until you see her office. Sounds like a maze, right? So if you want me to walk you back there or have any questions, just let me know. And hopefully I have some answers. Between you and me, I think Imogene is about done with the whole process. You won't believe the people we've been getting. I heard the hiring algorithm Yuko made approved all applicants. And of course Yuko bailed when interview time hit. It's technically her job. And Imogene is furious. Imogene Salzo is my idol. She's ruthless, but still knows how to behave around everyday people, if you know what I mean. She's probably next in line to take over for Ularu Chen, head of operations here, which would be a godsend considering Chen has no filter and loves to speak her mind. No one loves brutal honesty that much. Oh wow, you're serious? Well, Ryujin is the tech industry leader in the settled systems, mostly known for neuroamps which exploded on the scene about 15 years ago. Other than that, our products include operating systems, security, various quality of life improvements for the home. We're like a full package. If you really want more info, I'd recommend reading up at one of the kiosks. They've got this company's entire history listed. At least the history they want you to know. Good. Best not keep Imogene waiting too long. And the offer still stands if you need someone to show you the way. Great. Well, good luck then. I'm sure I'll see you on your way out.
I suspect that if I were confined to life in an office like this, someone would end up being stabbed.
I hate being stuck in the office.
I hope you're more prepared than the last one. Have a seat. And your friend can wait outside. I'm sure they understand.
Make sure they understand that in the end, they need you more than you need them.
All right, just to get a few things straight here. I'm Imogen Salzo, Senior Operations Specialist here at Ryujin Industries. I don't normally do this, but my counterpart Yuko is indisposed at the moment, so here I am. We're looking for someone to fill an entry-level administrative position. Apparently, our algorithm has failed us and believes you to be a decent match, which I'll take up with our technicians later. So, let's get this over with. Why do you want to work for Ryujin Industries? It's good to see you're familiar with and appreciate our work here. Why do you consider yourself qualified for a job like this? We do like to put our best foot forward when it comes to representation. I assume that means you know how to handle yourself in social situations, which is a decent plus in my book. How motivated are you to succeed? All in, huh? At least that's an attitude we can work with here. And finally, my last question. If you worked here for 5 years, what role would you see yourself in? Well, lack of college doesn't mean lack of creativity, so that's not completely unreasonable. You might have some heftier competition, but I know we hired 1 or 2 scientists based on actual work rather than education. So look, since there's a million other things I'd rather be doing than this, not to mention that this isn't even my job, you're hired. On a probationary period, of course. First order. There's a meeting starting soon, and I need you to pick up the coffee order at Terra Brew. Fairly easy, so you shouldn't be able to screw it up. If there's a line, skip it. Tell them you're here for Imogen Salzo, and you should get served right away.
As technicians, we handle prep and post-op work, beginnings and ends.
Anastas has run into some trouble. Word to the wise, you don't want to lose him.
There is little question that Ryujin has some influence here in Neon. I wonder how Mr. Bainwood feels about that.
No funny stuff with that boost pack.
Howdy. Hi. Thanks
It's
for choosing
Alania.
Terra Brew.
What can I get you?
Oh, the Ryujin order. You must be new. What happened to Tomo? Did he finally get that promotion?
I got fired is what happened. And this is the soulless suit they got to replace me.
Tomo, I'm sorry. I know how hard you were working for that promotion.
4 years behind a desk, getting coffee, kissing up to that high and mighty Ularu Chen, just to get replaced by this nobody? You don't even know your own boss's boss? Ularu is Ryujin's head of operations, or resident shark, if you ask me. If she smells blood in the water, you're dead. Like, who knows? I looked at someone wrong. The coffee wasn't hot. They didn't even have the decency to tell me. They just had security escort me out of the building, like some criminal. Hearing that ad should have been the first sign they were gonna get rid of me. I bet Ularu was just waiting for the moment to hire you. And now that I've been terminated, it's only a matter of time before they send you after me. So I'm taking matters into my own hands. Believe me, it's either you or me.
I believe you have grossly misunderstood the situation. If you put the gun down, perhaps we can come to an understanding.
You want to talk? I'll tell you what. You get one chance to prove you deserve this job. Change my mind, and I'll walk away. Fail, and I think you know where this is headed. No, I have to do this. You don't understand. I'd like to think so. Look, at some point, Ularu really will send you after me. Just promise me you'll remember this. That when I came after you, I gave you the chance to talk me down. Let's just say Ryujin doesn't like loose ends. Chen fired me, and now she's gonna see me as a liability. And that's why it's just a matter of time before our paths cross again. Okay? And when they do, I'm just hoping you'll listen to me, like I listened to you. Figured. Promises aren't exactly in the Ryujin spirit. I guess that's my cue to leave. Let's just hope we never see each other again.
We've got you covered. Morning, noon. Or night. Enjoy one of our distinct coffee flavors.
Hey, no worries on anyone calling security here. Take it from me, Ryujin will handle any drama that may come from this. You'll want to be sure to report it to them. Ryujin has connections everywhere. Even Benjamin Bayou. You know, the very man that runs Neon. They're practically untouchable around here. Just getting in with them, you're setting yourself up for life. Well, provided you don't get fired first, of course. Tomo had been Ryujin's errand boy for some time now. Lots of ambition. Dying to get up that food chain, if you know what I mean. He always seemed really nice, so a stunt like that? I never saw it coming. Are you serious? That's the most excitement I've had in months. I feel like I should be thanking you. Yes, of course. Here it is. Oh, and please let Mr. Cho know that we did have the recommended maintenance done. I triple-checked the grind myself, and a mistake like that will never happen again.
In the galaxy. Brew. And wake up. Right now.
You have my attention. That is all? Very well.
Rarefied air above the stone.
Ever run to spacers? Picking away at the leftovers. You didn't hear this from me. Those eclectic mercenaries? The factions use them sometimes. Freestar Collective and UC. That's why they give them a wide berth.
What is it?
I hope that coffee is still hot considering the time it took you to get it. You either need to learn this city or how to deal with distractions. So, what was the holdup? Good answer. And the one I was hoping for, since we learned of the incident before your return. Your handling of the Tomo situation has caught some attention, and we'd like to try you out in a different role at the company. And since Yuko isn't here to object, your new position starts right now. So, congratulations, you've been promoted. Not bad for your first day, right?
You were right to talk the situation through, rather than letting it escalate.
Let me explain. I'm promoting you to junior operative. The position is a bit more complicated and completely confidential. Your main duty is to add influence when necessary to ensure success of the business. Any questions so far? In any case where a threat to success is established, one of us is sent out to create a more desired outcome. This may be through a conversation or presenting some new information. It's all very situational, as you'll soon see. Well, it depends on the job, really. If someone can't be persuaded with words, perhaps a more forceful approach is necessary. You're basically removing obstacles from the equation. Like any good corporation, we consider what we do here to be a trade secret. If others knew and could mimic our actions, it would take away our edge. Really? Well, this transition may be easier than I thought. Now, let's get that coffee delivered. I'll gladly take mine. And since Yuko's still a no-show, feel free to keep hers. The other recipients are eagerly waiting for you in the conference room.
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
Got my eye on you.
Ah, coffee. You'd think we'd want to support our own subsidiary and get tranquility more often, but Terra Brew it is. For the past 5 years, Tranquility is a recent acquisition and we've only just begun to develop the brand. You may have seen how several vendors carry the product now. Yes, the profit margins are vastly different at this point in time. It's more the principle of the matter. Tea-talk aside, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lyndon Calderi, Chief Financial Officer. I'll be the one deducting expenses from your pay every time you manage to screw up, which hopefully won't be often. Yes, mistakes are often costly and involve substantial cleanup, both literally and figuratively. Law enforcement, witnesses, evidence, everything has its cost. Good. Then it appears we have nothing left to discuss. This introduction was not annoying. I hope our future encounters are as productive.
Just what I needed. Imogene said she hired someone new. I'm Genevieve, Head of Marketing and Public Relations. Me and an entire department have my back. Anyway, it's good to put a face to the new operative. The only question now is how much work are you going to be? Cleanup, of course. Journalists are pretty quick at putting 2 and 2 together. And I get the pleasure of making sure those connections are never made. Or, if they are, handling the fallout. Yeah, that's what they all say. Just know that one screw up for you means a lot of overtime and sleepless nights for me and my team. So, any precautions you can take will be greatly appreciated.
Coffee, finally. Well, let's have a look at you. That depends on your actions going forward. I'm Alexis Price, head of the legal department here, and I'll be direct. Any legal troubles you cause as an operative, witnesses, getting arrested, are my troubles. So steer clear of law enforcement. We may have connections with Administrator Bayou and the Freestar Rangers, but they aren't the ones I prefer to abuse. Administrator Bayou runs Neon and is on the Freestar Collective's Council of Governors. We have a long-standing symbiotic relationship due to the contributions that Ryujin Tower brings to Neon. For one, our connections with Bayou automatically grant us a slight connection with the Rangers. He has some amount of influence with his seat on the Council of Governors. But our strongest connection is local, with Ranger Price. Yes, you have quite the history with the Freestar Rangers yourself. Which is why I hope you won't be an issue. Good. Then we should get along just fine.
So, fetching coffee one minute, and junior operative the next. Gamden Cho, supply chain manager for Ryujin. We won't work together much, but as part of the same department, hopefully I'll be seeing you around. I have the glorious job of keeping all the departments supplied with exactly what they need. Anything from rare materials for R&D to slates and design software for marketing. You could say I'm the one aspect of operations that keeps this department legit. Ah, so she remembered. Not that I expect much out of Terra Brew Coffee, but hey, I suspected their grinder was on its last leg. Anyway, welcome to the team. Oh, and just a heads up, people in your position don't typically see the brighter side of Ryujin Industries. But rest assured, this is a great company, and the work we do goes toward benefiting millions. Well, neuroamps for one. They aid in mental illness, confidence boosting, and focus. Drone robots for maintenance and security, Tranquility for relaxation, Arboron for protection. Your work only helps us improve and expand upon these products that so many people love and benefit from. I get your point, but if anything, take comfort in knowing that you're the one deciding the methods behind your assignments. Not only that, but corporate espionage is the norm. Ryujin just handles it better than most. Competitor operatives have done far worse to accomplish less. Please do. It's easy to get wrapped up in the bad if that's all you see. Of course, you'll be forming your own opinions as you go. Just keep an open mind. Oh, and thanks for the coffee.
I hope you enjoyed your little meet and greet. I thought you'd like to know the execs who you'll be impacting while on the job. I can only imagine. Now that you've met a few of the execs, let's get you started. We have reason to believe that our friends at KeltCorp are trying to hack into our R&D server, since we're both competing for a contract right now. My words exactly. We can't allow them to win the contracts, nor can we allow the action to go unpunished. I'll be giving you a data slate with a file that you'll need to upload through one of their computers. That's up for you to determine. Think of it as the creative aspect of your job. There's always more than one way to get a job done around here. Think of it as a lesson that Kelt Corp gets to learn the hard way. Remember, this is confidential. We can't have anyone at Kelt Corp getting suspicious. When all is said and done, it should be as if you were never there. Here's the data slate. Good luck.
A gala at the New Atlantis Freestar Embassy.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
Don't cause any trouble. Nothing to report here.
I want to feel so much safer with one of those drone security robots.
Yeah, and the kids are going to love it.
That salesperson was really nervous. I hope he got all our details right.
We'll find out soon.
Ah, Neon. Instant sensory overload.
Here at Stroud Eckland, you know the power law. Ever look in the mirror and wish you could see another version of you? Now is the time.
We've been here an hour already. What's up? Maybe you should have figured out what you wanted before we came. Yeah?
I just never thought I'd have the credits to be here. I don't want to screw it up.
Hi there.
Well,
Welcome to
really
Enhance.
don't know how much of it.
James Newell better watch his back. He's causing problems. I know your type. Freewheeling space ace. Must be nice.
I do not know about you, but I am starting to suspect that Benjamin Bayou has a slightly inflated view of himself. Clearly the intent is to get us into the Astral Lounge. Shall we follow the signs?
If you're here to buy, I'm afraid we only sell direct to retailers. Again! Look, you can tell Mr. Okaribo that I'm doing everything I can. Blood from a stone, if you'll pardon the expression. Oh. I'm afraid I've stepped right into it again. Damn. You aren't here about Mr. Okadibo's debt to Kelkor. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Let me start over. My name's Clover McKenna, but you can call me Chloe. Sorry for me outburst. I'm not sure. I think he's afraid that I won't be here, and he'll have to deal with my father. Someone who has a lot less patience than I do. Just a few weeks ago, he paid some poor fella to come up here and request a bit more time to pay back his debt. So I snapped at you like that. I thought he'd done it again. That's kind of you. This mess with Mr. Okadibo over at the Neon Mining League has really thrown me off my game. It's a shop over in Akuchi Market. You know, the plaza next to Ryujin Tower? They sell all sorts of mining supplies and raw materials. It's a fine little shop, well-stocked and immaculate. Mr. Okadibo is the owner. He's a lovely, lovely man, but his aspirations are one grav jump longer than his business instincts. Normally, yes. But in this case, Mr. Okadibo has put me in a real bind. Mr. Okadibo owes a substantial debt to Kelkor. I've given him more than enough time to try and come up with the money, but my father's patience is running out. Frankly, I don't know how much longer I can stall. We're a tech company that primarily specializes in mining operations. We handle everything from individual standalone units to fully engineered outpost systems. Basically, if it's made of rock, our gear chews it. Might not be as glamorous as some of the other corps in this building, but it pays the bills. Niall? Oh, he's the CEO of Kelp Corp. The whole blessed thing. If you asked him, he'd claim he started the company with next to nothing and built it into a megacorp in under 30 years. Truth is, he tends to forget the multi-million credit trust he tapped into as a crutch. But that's my father for you. Because my father has a ridiculous sense of humor, and I can't stand the name Clover. I mean, seriously, Clover? Our family's Irish, for God's sake. I don't think he could have possibly been more on the nose with that name. Ha ha, very funny, Dad. For now, but let's not mistake my position for what it really is. A test set out by my father. He's set to retire in a few years, and I'm his only next of kin. But I'm guessing he's not sure if I'm ready to take over the company. So he shuttles me out here for two reasons. One, to flash a friendly face for our clients he flies out here as a perk. And two, gets his firebrand of a daughter as far away from him as possible. He's a real piece of work. You'd be willing to help out? That's awfully kind of you. No, you've got it all wrong. Saburo, Mr. Okadibo, he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, especially in this city. He really needs help, but he's too proud to accept any money from me. Maybe he'd listen to someone like you? That is a rather personal question, and I would prefer we kept things professional, if you don't mind. Oh, that'd be splendid. Just amazing. If you can get his debt off my conscience, I'd be grateful. It's been on my mind so much I've been keeping a diary. And don't worry about payment. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. McKenna always keeps that promise. When he opened the shop, he outfitted it with equipment from our company. Spent a bundle of cash he didn't have. Obviously, business hasn't been going well. because he's fallen way behind on his payments. Opening a mining business on a world almost entirely covered in ocean probably wasn't the most savvy of business plans. I suppose he intended to cater to travelers that were passing through our system, but it's clearly backfired. A poor man. Tough city. You watch yourself out there.
What are you hello?
Are you gonna let me work, or are you lost?
I never had the patience for computer systems.
Neon Security, you're under arrest! I can't remember if I already searched you. I must have, right? Let's go back to the station.
Please try not to alert anyone to what you're doing.
Freeze! Neon security! You know, after conducting a thorough search, I'm surprised I didn't find any contraband. At all. But I still need to take you to the station to be processed. So you're telling me I have...
I'm not gonna say this twice. Get the hell away from me.
Not sure if there's...
This report isn't bad, but you're going to need more supporting evidence. Imogene's a stickler for details.
Well, look who survived their first assignment. How'd it go? Anything to report?
I know what you mean, but that's your missing piece right there.
All right, I'll get on it.
I heard you made quite the scene in the trade tower. Something I explicitly told you we wanted to avoid. If you recall, setbacks mean a lot of things for a lot of people. Payoffs, cover stories, cleanup crews. You get my drift. The cleaner your work, the more intact your payments stay. I'm sure you understand. Lucky for you, there'll be no docks in pay today. Just try to be more careful in the future. Exactly. In the meantime, I'll make sure that slate is properly disposed of. So, now that we know you're capable of handling some light cyber mischief, let's try your hand at a little framing. One of our subsidiaries, Arboron, is currently competing for a contract against Laredo. Now, the buyer likes to keep their associations clean, and will be sending a representative to Laredo in Aquila City for an evaluation. We just need you to visit their office first and accidentally leave behind some incriminating evidence against their company. We want a clean and careful job. Obviously, we don't want any bad press at this point, or we could lose the deal. I don't want to hear any news about bounties or bodies coming out of Aquila City. The inspection will be similar to an audit. These things are usually pretty thorough. Filing cabinets, desks. I trust you can be smart about it. Oh, the best part is we don't even have to fabricate this information. We're just exposing what Laredo would rather keep hidden. Here's the slate we need you to plant. It holds confidential files that'll cast the perfect negative light on our friends at Laredo. Now, get going.
I went through a brief period where I thought it might be exciting to be a professional Ashta hunter. A very, very brief period.
My shift goes long.
I know Aquila City rather well. Perhaps better than I would like.
I heard Mr. Wright's going to be looking for an apprentice.
The UC can't be that bad, can it?
I want to steer clear of the stretch. Lots of crime over there.
You lost?
If the system is protected, there will hopefully be valuable data.
There's always work to be done. Pace yourself.
I was hoping you'd show up soon. Is it done? Don't get too comfortable. Those who do usually don't last long in this field. Now, I think it's time to examine a different set of skills. Good. This next assignment could be a little more flexible than the others. Your next assignment is to find a security chief and use some creative thinking to obtain their security keycard. And when I say creative, I don't mean with a weapon. Either look the part and be persuasive, or be quick with your hands. A security chief isn't going to give the time of day to just anybody. A nice suit should do the trick. Or, who knows, some operatives are known to have a security guard uniform or two in their closet they can rely on. Just be careful. Getting caught could mean a mess, and cleanup isn't cheap. We just need some easy access to competitor security. Sometimes obtaining a legitimate form of access is preferred over brute forcing it. Good luck. I'm sure you'll be able to get that keycard without incident. Just remember, if anything does happen, it's up to you to bail yourself out.
Won't find better weapons than Neon, the ones I'm selling here.
You in a buying mood today? Welcome to the Ryujin Industries product store. Looking for a new... all of Ryujin Industries' latest and greatest Neuro amps. Take a look. I'm sure we have something that might suit your needs. Neuro amps are Ryujin Industries' signature product. They're small pieces of wearable tech that enhance some of the user's brain functions. Some of our best sellers can help with anything from focus and short-term memory to communication and confidence boosting. That all depends on what you like to improve. If you're looking for a bit of a diplomatic edge, our Neurocom series is great. The NeuroBoost can help you gain that confidence you need to really stand your ground. And our NeuroTac series, TAC for Tactical, specializes in critical thinking. Of course, they're practically the foundation of what Ryujin was built on. Sure have. My Neuroamp's the reason I got where I am. 6 months ago, I was barely motivated enough to hold a job scrubbing floors as a janitor at Ryujin Tower. But thanks to this nifty little thing, I feel more motivated than ever, and my social skills have really improved. I can talk to customers no problem now. Plus, I haven't lost my keys once since I started wearing it. It really is. Trust me, once you put one on, you'll never look back. Why don't you check out the shop? It's worth browsing even if you aren't looking to buy. Custodian, IT support, security. I've worked plenty of low-level jobs at Ryujin Tower, and did pretty poorly at most of them. I'm sure they would have fired me ages ago if it weren't for Jupiter, the young lady at the front. She keeps pushing management to reassign me instead of letting me go. She's the one who convinced me to try out a NeuroAmp. I really owe her one. It's completely changed my life. NeuroAmps mostly, same as always. See ya. Welcome back. Can I Here, have a look. Take care.
United Colony Space. Maintain current course while we scan for contraband. Scan complete. Welcome to Gagarin. You are cleared to land.
Landing site is clear. Let's head down.
Captain, hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived your most recent sleep cycle.
Mech construction is a dead industry, Chief Pretorius. Those jobs aren't coming back.
But Reliant Medical, Archmite, and Satori Mills are dedicated to Gagarin. We were just hoping Gagarin could show the same dedication in return.
I'm not closing off the city every time you want to run a tour group through here.
Our investor visits are the key to making Gagarin a place that works again. A place where people want to live again.
People are living here just fine. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have security work to get back to.
I'm sorry, but if this isn't directly related to Reliant Medical business, you should really schedule an appointment. What's that like? Challenging. I work for Helena Strickland, one of the most driven executives in the industry. I tied him really, though she seems to forget it's not just her that's responsible for Reliant's successes around here. Though we've been having some courier troubles recently. I think there could be some credits in if you're interested. Speak to Helena. Who knows? Drink themselves to death? I honestly haven't the slightest. I'm usually too busy trying to make something of this city. But if you aren't the seize the day type, you can wander over to Lizzie's. I haven't heard about any waves of blindness striking the city's residents, so the drinks can't be that bad. Gagarin is a city on the rise. Cheap facilities, an enthusiastic labor market. Archmite and Satari Mills are just learning what Reliant's known for years. Gagarin is the place to do business.
Tell me you're here to just report a good old-fashioned crime? If I have to deal with one more corporate exec begging for special treatment, I'll eat my badge. Oh, you haven't heard? Gagarin's going to be the next new Atlantis, or so we've all been told. Centauri Mills, Archmite, Reliant Medical. They all bought up and renovated derelict buildings here in the city in the past couple years. We needed the jobs, to be sure. Gagarin got hit hard after the mech plants were all shuttered when the colony war ended. But I'm not sure I've ever met a more entitled group than these executives. Treat the city like an amusement park, and all of us as the amusements. It's kept me and my people plenty busy, just not with actual policing. But, I'm sorry. Did you actually need to report something? You know, your stand-up routine leaves something to be desired. Though if you're gunning for a personalized tour of one of Gagarin's holding cells, that can certainly be arranged. But I think we might have gotten off on the wrong foot. I'm Delitzo Pretorius, UC Security Chief. It's our job to deal with any law breaking around Gagarin, and we take that job very seriously. Now, was there something I can help you with? Gagarin's not really that sort of burg. Most of the restaurants went belly up when the mech trade shut down. Only one left is Lizzie's, on the other side of town, though it does have a nice view of the square. There's also a little social club the local executive set up across from Lizzie's, but it's still pretty light on amenities. Now, if you're just looking to resupply, then you'll want Clint's. Another case of last business standing, but he's got a good selection. And for medical supplies, you'll want Dr. Keala. You can find both of them on the main concourse. Beyond that, we're just corporate offices and private homes. Well, I came here right after training, which was 10 years ago now. Gagarin was a lot rougher then. People were still reeling from all the plants getting shut down after the war. So there was a lot of petty theft, break-ins, I was responsible for putting together a pretty busy community outreach program. Worked out well enough that they eventually made me chief. We've had our issues. Some folks aren't thrilled about the corporations moving in, but the majority don't act on it. Those that do largely keep it civil. Protest, throw some paint, occasional crate wanders off. But we've managed to avoid any open conflict so far. It's really not a bad assignment. Be safe.
I heard this. Do you have a ship? I'm not supposed to run on the walkways anymore.
Have a nice day. If my services are inadequate, please leave a complaint so I can improve.
Checking in? Reliance always here when you need us.
I was thinking about going for a hike outside the canyon. I remembered where we are.
Welcome to Clint's. Whatever you need, I'm sure I've got it lying around somewhere. Except mech parts. Don't trade those anymore, so don't waste your time asking. Well, for one, it's illegal in UC space. Making mech platforms used to be Gagarin's bread and butter. So, since they were banned in the armistice, I get 1 to 2 folks a month asking what kind of relics I might have lying around. But I'm not about to risk a contraband fine at my age, so that's why I just lay it out up front. If you need anything, just follow the sound of falling inventory. You'll find me eventually. Gagarin. It was a military town until the end of the Colony War. Mechs were our specialty. Everyone always blabbers about Mars making the highest performance machines. But if you needed a system that wouldn't let you down in a pinch, you piloted a Gagarin. But that all dried up when the mechs were banned with the armistice. Now, we've got these new firms coming in. Arkmite, Centauri Mills. Claim they're here to revitalize the city. Which is funny, since their employees refuse to step foot in most of it. Plenty more competition for stores like mine, that's for sure. UC had a lot more money to throw around in those days. During the war, I couldn't keep the shelves stocked. At first, because of all the demand. But later, because the Freestar Collective flotillas were so damn good at picking off UC merchant craft. But the biggest difference now? The quiet. Not just because most of the forges and mines shut down. It was the testing. Firms used to drive their prototype mechs out into the canyons, way beyond the city. But you could still hear the guns all the way from here. It was like, shoo, thunder. So when the thunder stopped, well, so did Gagarin in a way. Hard to not be nostalgic for a time when the city was in a better place. Though, knowing what we do now, with the costs of the war and all, probably better for everyone that Gagarin's moved on. May not be the prettiest stock, but you can count on every piece.
The Terrabrew kiosk still busted?
Someone painted some choice words on the front of the arc light factory the other day. The robots took it down pretty
Some of the other executives and I have been looking to form a town council. Ensure everyone's voices are heard in city matters. The locals would be invited, of course. Are you taking coffee orders? I'd kill for a cappuccino right now.
You lost? Because you don't look like you belong here. Can I help you? That is a pretty huge favor, especially coming from someone I don't even know. Still, I'm not handing over this card without good reason, so start talking. I thought I made myself clear. I'm not giving you my card. I think we can work something out. All right. Take it. But you better be quick.
We just learned about Earth in school. When I get my own ship, I'm going there.
Fitting that the first people into space should be immortalized in this way. Were it not for the path they first walked, we would not be here. Yes? Until next time.
Gagarin was a one-industry city for a long time. Now, we've got a little bit of everything.
What time is it? Probably too early to pop by Luna's.
Oh, Chief Pretorius? She thinks Gagarin is just peachy being poor and run down. Has no vision. But Arkmite does. Thanks to our investment, the largest formerly shuttered mech plant in the city has been refurbished and is churning out some of the finest heavy equipment in the settled systems. And we're sharing that vision of a revived Gagarin with others. We've been bringing in investors, showing them all the potential of this place. We were only asking the chief to make sure the areas we'd planned to visit didn't have any malcontents running around. Unfortunately, some of the locals don't appreciate all we've done for the city. Yes. What a loss for local character that a rotting factory has been made useful again. But I understand it can be hard for some people to come to terms with change, even when it ultimately benefits them. Arkmite? We're the galaxy's premier heavy equipment firm. Diggers, construction robotics, that sort of thing. And we're on Gagarin to take advantage of an opportunity. The city's old mech factories have been sitting dormant for years now. But they're open again thanks to us. We've automated the old assembly lines and brought plenty of money to the city in the process. It's a win-win for all involved. What gave it away? I was born in New Atlantis, but the business environment is so stuffy there. Centuries-old firms set in their ways. Gagarin is gritty, exciting, an opportunity for growth. And isn't that what business and life are all about? This has been lovely. Really.
I know a guy who just got a job at the Centauri Mills plant. Won't say what they pay.
Lost? Trick to the catwalks, just keep turning right. You'll You'll get where you're going eventually.
For liability reasons, the factory floor is off limits to all
Neon is for indulgence and decadence. I am both disgusted and impressed.
Hey there. Got that key card for me? Now we're talking. Not bad for a novice. I think you're ready to kick things up a notch, and your timing couldn't be better. Good. It's time for a change of pace. This next assignment requires a bit more discretion for two reasons. First, you'll be dealing with high-level executives, and second, you'll be in the Astra Lounge here in Neon.
I suspect a great many things could occur in the Astral Lounge without anyone taking notice.
If you haven't already heard the name Benjamin Bayou, you'd better get familiar. The man runs Neon and has ties to anything significant here, including Ryujin. The trade tower is his baby, and the Astra Lounge is the heart and soul. You do anything to scar that and make a scene, I guarantee it'll come back to haunt us. I was hoping you'd feel that way, considering you said as much earlier in your interview. Our techs failed to uncover a potential deal between Infinity Ltd and Quantum Synergies. Your job is to make sure that deal fails. Infinity Ltd is one of our aspiring competitors. They have products in several similar fields, ships and neuroamps being the exception. Quantum Synergies specializes in ship operating software. We don't consider them a major competitor since their product line is so narrow. If the two are meeting to work out a contract, that tells us Infinity must be looking to get into the ship business. And we'd like to delay that, if we can. That's what we're hoping for. You'll be speaking with Quantum Synergy's Executive Director Zola Adisa and their financial manager Arthur Cruz. I'll be giving you a dossier on both. I strongly suggest you read them for talking points. I suppose I can give you a brief rundown. We'll start with Zola. Zola is a born and bred executive. It runs in the family, so she's highly accustomed to an upper-class lifestyle. She's a narcissist who's also obsessed with public perception, both of her and Quantum Synergies. She wants to be associated with the latest and greatest, so she's drawn to innovation and quality. Good. The more comfortable you can appear in the conversation, the easier it should be for her to buy into what you'll be saying. As for her talking points, the key things to remember are Infinity is the cheap version of Ryujin. They're a follower, not a leader, and they lack any sense of clear vision. Infinity has struggled with leadership and turnover for a long time now. Lucas Drexler is probably the 5th CEO they've had in the past few years. Plus, it's hard to keep good employees when much better corporations who will pay more are out there. They've launched several, but none survive long. Nothing that would be as big as neuroamps or grav drives. That's why they've taken to just following whatever trends companies like Ryujin set. If they can't make money off ingenuity, they can certainly sell someone a cheaper version of a more expensive product they may want. Infinity Ltd's strategy to make money is to cut cost on quality. You can compare any one of our products to theirs and see it almost instantly. Low-grade synthetics, flimsy thin materials, high energy usage, they issue at least 1 or 2 recalls a year. Just remember, you can refer to the dossier at any time as a refresher. Now, on to Arthur Cruz. Arthur is a self-made man, and he prides himself on that. He's a full package, having both an extremely good knack for numbers and knowing how to talk to people. As Quantum Synergy's financial manager, he's all about driving profit with as little risk as possible. He makes decisions based on facts and heavily researched trends. It sounds like the two of you could really hit it off. Arthur's a great talker, but even the best can lose an audience when finance is the topic. Talking points for Arthur are aimed at steering him toward Ryujin over Infinity Ltd. Ryujin's profits are 25.7% higher than Infinity's, even with a superior quality product. Infinity's profits are fabricated. They're one audit away from ruin. We have a history of being financially secure that's never wavered, and we have the legal and marketing teams to handle anything that might threaten that. Quantum Synergies is the top name in ship OS. Their reputation has allowed them to keep the best engineers on their payroll. We can't deny that working with them would be beneficial for us, and Arthur is our best bet in making that happen. Besides, an open collaboration gives us easier access to information we'd otherwise have to find a more clever means of discovering. We keep an extremely close eye on our competition. Thanks to operatives like you, that information is almost always at our disposal. Sounds like you're ready then. I'd still highly recommend reading the dossiers, though. Sometimes bullet-pointed statements can stick out in minds easier than conversation. Exactly. Those lines are most likely to sway Zola and Arthur away from Infinity, not to mention give them a gentle nudge in our direction. The Infinity Ltd rep is Nina Hart. I'll also be giving you an altered version of her presentation to swap out with the original. We've changed several figures, just enough to cause sufficient confusion throughout their meeting. We got lucky on that one. Nina was making some last-minute changes to it at her own home and happened to save it to her personal data storage. Of course, we were able to access it, so we fabricated our own with new figures and put it on an Infinity Ltd slate. Assuming she's using an Infinity Ltd slate is a bit of a gamble, but one we're willing to take. If it's not on her person, it will be in the suite she has reserved. Suites are patrolled, so she'll believe it's secure. If you can't manage to get her room key or deal with the door itself, try Boone Morgan, the manager. Boone appreciates credits, if you know what I mean. Exactly. And that incompetence will be enough for them to further question this deal. Finally, I recommend dressing appropriately, so I've taken the liberty of having a suit made for you. We need absolute discretion on this one. I don't want any SSNN broadcasts about murder in the Astral Lounge. Got it? Business executives aren't going to take advice from just anyone. Show up looking like an Ebbside street rat or mercenary for hire, and you're lucky if they'll even acknowledge you. I bet you are. Just remember to keep a low profile. Don't let the Astor Lounge distract you too much.